5 seconds. We go to Bouncy House. This is Katie. You confirm. We go to Bouncy House. We take the high ground for Jodel, so Jodel can sit up there.
That feels like something Katie should be saying, but okay.
Yeah, I know. Katie was having a rough day yesterday, but that's also why I'm saying, Katie, you confirm. So she can say yes or no to it.
Yeah, Doom's
okay, cool.
There's a hunter there.
What? No, what?
Alright, Jodel, let's try and push you up on high ground, alright? Move in, move in. Oh, Zen. Zen half. Zen low.
Fired.
No. Where was the rest of your team, though?
I think they were all moving to point. I'm not sure. I think Jodel might have... I think I turn around here if you see... maybe Jodel is on the high ground. Doom's hunting me.
Doom discorded.
No, okay, I hunt the Doom. Never mind. I think... Yeah, most of them are on the team right... the point right now.
Okay, well, they shouldn't be. Okay. So I'm gonna go back a little further. So your objective is to get Zenyatta for now, at least, because Zenyatta on this high ground.
Mm-hmm.
They're in high ground?
Yeah, Doom's in high ground. They have Doom.
So your whole team is pretty much set up on high ground. I assume Farah's flying. Yeah, I can see Farah.
Yeah, except for Jodel, and Jodel was the important one.
Who's then
yeah.
chilling out the back. No, this is all fine so far. But here's the thing. When you're playing dive, the point of a dive composition is that you cut back on sustain for increased damage.
Alright.
You guys then need to be prioritizing on getting kills. That doesn't mean you can't also get him up there. That doesn't mean you can't like focus down people who are threatening him as he tries to get up the lift. That's fine. But you need to be killing people.
Right, Jodel, let's try and push
the longer that you play in this kind of stalemate, drawn out kind of fight, the more advantage goes to the other team because they have better healing than you.
Zen half.
So the rest of the team should have been with you at this point.
Yeah, okay. To actually fight.
They should be following your commands anyway. They should be in a position to take out people with you at all times.
Yeah.
Farah can do things from range, and you can see Farah is shelling the area. Mm-hmm. Where's Tracer? Well, I actually know the answer to that question.
I think she's on the point.
Do you have a slow? Who is that?
Oh, that's actually that's Tracer, yeah. So she might have been hunting.
She's dueling Tracer.
Yeah.
She's dueling the Doomfist. Sorry. Here's the other thing. He's got about 2 seconds to live. It's almost always the situation where you just want to pop the bubble and then kill the Zen anyway.
All right.
Getting the kill in exchange for giving Zarya 40 energy is always worth it. Look at him. He's like 5 HP. You could easily, right now, just glide over there and just kill him.
Doom's hunting me.
Doom discorded.
Now you choose to chase the Doomfist instead, which I will consider an acceptable compromise. But your team's just having a brawl on point. You guys aren't playing dive. You're just brawling. At the absolute minimum, D.Va should have been with you to help you finish off your target.
Yeah.
Hanzo, one dead, nice. Mercy left side. Ryan, nice. Mercy left side.
Sorry, Discord.
Mercy one dead, nice. Ryan, Zarya, she's dead. Good.
Ah, Ruby's playing with you.
Yeah. Cookie wasn't able to play.
Right. Yeah, so, Ruby does that for Los Muertos as well.
Yeah, but it's alright. Me and Cookie will definitely work on, like, synergy, because we haven't played...
Do you guys play together?
We haven't played together in a long time, that's the thing, because he had a vacation, then I had a vacation, and then he hasn't been online too much, so we haven't had time.
Here's my homework for you. You guys are going to play together at least 3 times a week.
Oof.
That's 3-4 games a week, at least, and each session ideally would be like 2 or 3 games. But at least 3 games a week, on at least 3 different days.
Yeah, okay.
That's my homework for you.
Sweet.
Play around protecting Jodel.
I dropped by accident.
In terms of time, to properly split up how you're going to improve, you want to split it 1/3 between solo queue, 1/3 scrims, and 1/3 VODs. So you guys, you do need to be splitting up your time properly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scout.
We actually set the last member of the team now. So we're gonna set a schedule in a week, and then actually start working.
Which way to left side?
Widow's far left. Let's jump Widow. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I got boosters.
Up Discord, I'm
I'm
right.
on Widow. She's
And
left, she's
where's like the rest of your
left. They got
team?
the point. That's a free cap.
Then one.
You're on the left side.
Why is Tracer fighting Zen? What the fuck is going on here?
I'm not sure.
Point.
Zarya.
Her style is clearly just killing whoever he wants. Don't get me wrong, he's popping off. Your Tracer was popping off last round as well.
Yeah.
No, Ryan first.
But,
Ryan,
like,
Ryan.
this isn't how you play Dive.
On Widow.
Dive isn't the DPS pops
Mercy's
off.
one.
It's
Mercy
like a
killed herself.
coordinated
Mercy first.
effort to
Yeah, Fox,
chew
you can
through
hide.
the other
Let's
team
get
as
back.
quickly as
Let's get back
possible.
on high ground.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get my mech back.
Yeah, I noticed.
Try play safely, Ruby.
So something that, what Katie then needs to be doing, is
Mhm.
Katie needs to go, okay, well here's the person we're diving first on the other team. Here are your options. And you go, okay, well we're going to dive on this person. 3, 2, 1, go. And then you jump. And Tracer's like already there. She's already in the backline. She just steps out of the shadows, Reaper style, to just put a clip in him. Diva and Winston both jump on the same time. Farah starts shelling the area. It's really not that difficult. And then maybe Farah goes, oh, I landed a direct on Hanzo. And they go, right, let's jump on the Hanzo. And kill
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Could you play by the,
And, like-
by the center dome? Like, could you stay over there?
Got my
To
mech.
peek? Yeah, by the.
But they have a Widow.
Oh shit, never mind.
This is me just making a suggestion. It was bad.
What is my down?
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can we rest that? Can we rest that?
I can fence Matrix.
This has lasted too long. No. You're letting the fights draw out too much. You guys need to be playing super aggressive and jumping on any opportunity that you get.
With me, I'm jumping. We're giving that point.
I didn't count down that.
I'm throwing you.
Mercy's dead, Mercy's dead. I'm jumping.
Oh, but you did make it very clear, and Ruby didn't even try.
Fuck.
Oh, I died. I'm so
Discord, I'm
sorry.
Keep stalling point.
Fight Ryan, fight Ryan. Sen's
Ryan barrier low.
No more stall. No. Once they cap, there's no point stalling.
I
You guys
didn't
need to
notice
just tell
that.
them to
I
die
didn't
there
notice that
already.
they capped.
Well, there's a little bell sound that plays when they
Yeah, I
cap,
know.
so...
I don't remember
need
hearing
to-
that.
Keep stalling
That's my
point.
just my fuck up.
Sen's
Ryan barrier low.
When you die, the whole time you're watching this, you need to be thinking, should we stop? Should we quit? Should we? Because, like, main tank dying is the number one sign that the fight is over. Now, sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes it's traded out and it's like a 3v5 and you just happen to be the one guy that died for whatever reason.
fight Ryan, fight Ryan.
But you need to be constantly thinking to yourself, is the fight over? Do we keep going?
Nice. Jodl dropped right side.
And if the answer is no, you need to communicate that to your team immediately.
Ryan, back up, back up, back up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to watch the rest of this round, because what I'm actually going to say to you is that you guys didn't do well to begin with. The reason that you guys won on this first point is because your DPS popped off.
Mhm.
And it's actually nothing to do with the team, nothing to do with team comps, nothing to do with anything else. And we're just going to skip ahead and we're just going to watch this next point. And if we go back... Oh, look. We're just going to keep going, basically. Ruby's fighting someone who's probably not the same person as you. And we're just going to watch this second one now.
Alright.
Yeah, but you don't run dive in every map.
I don't know why they switched off the
No,
Widow.
you don't.
Oh, fucking butt fucking up.
Oh shit, Fox. See,
What
you're
true
hella
line?
gay.
Which Boya? Okay, well, this is the Ryan Zarya map.
Okay, so you guys changed to a different composition. Now, I would think that the way that you guys play
I'll protect you.
would better suit this type of composition.
It would. Especially with Cookie on Zarya, it fits us very well.
Sorry. I drank.
Well, even then, I'm going to categorize that as you being carried by Cookie as opposed to being carried by your DPS.
We're gonna go left side.
Alright.
Like, look, here's the thing.
Are we? I
With
don't know,
team
you
play, it's significantly easier to shut down plays than it is to make them. It's like just the team level thing. If it's easier to throw than it is to carry.
Yeah.
So, as you encounter tougher resistance, they're just gonna figure out, oh wait, they're just playing like solo queuers. We can just shut them down,
Yeah.
and then they're fucked.
Strat. I wanna go left side.
A bit too late, you know?
Whatever we're doing, can we just
Go on point, straight on point. Focus Ryan shield, they brig.
Ooh.
Ryan smart, Ryan smart.
energy?
I'm stunned, I'm low, I'm dead.
Energy behind.
Focus Ryan.
Done.
Which is still behind. Discord. Which is still behind. Discord.
What's happening?
I'm looking at the team composition you guys are running.
Oh.
Let's cross out the common elements. So the difference is they've got a Genji, and you have a McCree. They have a Brigitte, and a Moira, and you have a Mercy, and a Zen. You guys have more damage, but they have a vastly stronger front line than you. Their whole team is like tilted towards aggression. Because like you got the Moira, who needs to keep fighting to keep her healing up, who's got ridiculous healing output. You've got this Brigitte, who's basically just like a stun bot that makes this Rhine 2v2, Rhine Zarya 2v2, basically unwinnable for your team. Then they've got a flanker who can dunk on your guys. So their composition is actually tailored pretty nicely to counter yours. You don't have any close range DPS. You've got 2 skirmishers. McCree's kind of more of a duelist, but it's not that important. You've got 2 mid-range DPS. You haven't got anything that might be a reason for them not to just like run balls deep into your team and take you guys out. So you guys are at a disadvantage in terms of composition here. What would I recommend to change it? Well, Doomfist would be the number 1. Doomfist is pretty good against Genji and really good against Brigitte in the right hands, and can combo to the Brigitte of your own, maybe. Could very easily turn this 3v2 into an very easily winnable 3v3. He's decent against Hanzo, but not great. You can just trust that your Hanzo's better than his and hope.
Question.
Go on.
Which of the DPS would be the Doomfist player? Would it be the projectile or the hit scan?
Oh, Doomfist, in this scenario, I would say you'd want Doomfist instead of McCree. But that's mostly because this meta heavily favors projectiles over hit scan.
Yeah. Okay.
However, Doomfist is definitely a projectile hero.
Yeah.
He is a projectile. His primary attack is a projectile. There's not a whole lot about him there's nothing about him that's hit scan. I suppose from like just like his normal punch, I guess. So he would definitely qualify as a projectile. Right now, in this current meta, I would say that both DPS need to be able to play Hanzo. Because you're always going to need a Hanzo. And the other question is, do you then want another projectile, which most of the time you do, or a hit scan? So the easiest way to handle that is just to have both players being able to play Hanzo.
Yeah, I think Fox can play Hanzo, but we tried having Herstal more in Hanzo, since that is his supposed, like, main hero. And
if you're running this, if this is the beneficial composition, fine. But if you need to get a Doomfist out, then Fox needs to be able to play Hanzo at like at least a decent level.
Alright. I do believe he like knows how to play him enough. He's good.
Yeah. Hanzo's not a difficult hero.
No, not too difficult. Especially not with a new ability, but I'll just tell them that both of them should learn Doomfist. But primarily Herstal or something?
Both of them should learn Hanzo. Doomfist is a niche hero. The only reason that I'm suggesting Doomfist here is because they don't have any stuns on their team except Brigitte. And if you're playing Doomfist to kill Brigitte, it's not that difficult to do that. Especially if you got support from your team.
Yeah, alright.
The main disadvantage of this team is that they're actually quite low on healing once you factor Moira out of the equation, which isn't that difficult to do. There's not a whole lot of utility here. Like, there's a lot of damage from like Hanzo, but once Storm Arrows runs out, they're very low on damage, very low, and they're quite low on healing too. If Moira manages to run out, which I don't know how likely that is, but it's a possibility. Or if for some other reason Moira can't heal everyone, like they've all scattered out, which Genji and Hanzo will want to do. So there's not a whole lot of healing on the DPS. So failing the Doomfist route, I would say the alternative would then be go Duelist to try and focus down their DPS first, and then sort of pin their middle.
Alright.
Problem is that you're not running DPS that are capable of that. Hanzo's not a duelist. McCree is a duelist, but I don't know how this interaction plays out. If you think it's positive, then keep him for sure. But I would honestly say you could probably swap out this Hanzo without much in the way of negative consequences. You guys could stay dive actually and just like dive their DPS.
Yeah.
Dive the Hanzo, counter dive the Genji, by which I mean just like electrocute him if he tries to dive you. And you guys should be able to win that without a huge amount of difficulty.
Fox, you focus the Genji. Or Zen's dead.
Yeah, I call that out.
Back up, you're all
We
low.
actually
Back
had
up, back up,
huge
back up.
issues with that Genji.
Right.
He was
Fox, Q.
very good according to many players.
Sombra might be effective against that team, but I always
Pushed up.
so.
Your mom. Okay, I'm gonna back up. I don't have a shield. Back up. Don't peek.
Sombra in her prime would be good against that team anyway.
Yeah.
Ruby, do they know you were there?
No, I'm a sneaky Zarya. Sneaky Zadra.
Alright.
What Zarya, oh no, what Sombra is pretty good at in principle anyway is if the whole team is like reliant on one thing, one person, one ability, then Sombra's pretty good against that. And there's several instances of that with this team. They're reliant on Moira for their healing, so if she gets hacked and then jumped on, she just dies.
Yeah.
They're reliant on Hanzo Storm Arrows for his damage, so if she hacks him, then he's useless. Genji and Brigitte both just die when hacked. They just crumple. And Ryan, Genji, Brigitte, Reinhardt, Zarya does okay, I guess, but everyone else gets fucked.
Zarya no personal. Focus Ryan. He's gonna have a shatter. I have no shield. I'm low. I'm dead.
Alright, that's okay. They use
Just give up. Ryan's dead. It's equal? Genji's behind. He's marked. Get him. Supports. Get him. Fuck him up.
Alright, I'm on it.
Herstal left side.
I don't
left
think
side.
we
On
kill him.
Genji.
You called to back out anyway. The fact that you guys are like trying to fight at all is kind of disturbing.
Genji's on top left.
If once you call to get out, that call is final. You can't like reverse it.
Yeah, but
What?
Tell me when you get chatter.
can we pause?
Yeah, I'm far from it.
Yeah, we can.
Run.
In the instance of someone chasing you, from what I saw, the Genji left his whole team just to chase Katie that was like 1 HP, but he wasn't able to kill her.
Where's
And
McCree in this scenario? If you're running a McCree, these two should be like best friends and just dunking this Genji as soon as he pokes his head out. Because he hasn't got any... There's no one on this team that can support this Genji, like, except maybe Brigitte. So, like, as soon as Genji pops his head out, McCree should just be like, no. Fuck off. And there's no one else on this team that he would particularly want to fight. This composition you're running could work, but you've got to understand what you're doing. Specifically, these two need to be getting into a 1v1, and you need to be making 100% best use of Mercy to win that, because these two can't support a sniper the way Mercy can.
yeah.
And then these two need to be best friends and dunking on them. And then your job as tanks is just to hold off their front line long enough for your DPS and supports to take out their DPS. And then you push in.
Yeah, okay, so at that point, it's more of us staying alive because we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Staying alive and making sure the tanks don't ignore you. Just like, beat your chests and, remind them that you exist, but don't, like, charge into the enemy team or anything.
Yeah, okay. So...
And I suspect what's kind of happening here is you guys are going in, and yeah, you guys are going in pretty aggressive, you're trying to win,
I fucked.
and then they just
No,
come in and they
give it
just
up,
kill.
give it up. I'm so sorry. I dropped shield as soon as he shattered.
So, this is mostly a Katie issue, is that Katie needs to be recognizing, how do I win against this team? And what you can do is you can ask Katie, how do we win against this team? Switching composition should be seen as a last resort. As much as the game developers would like to think otherwise, you can't switch compositions too frequently or you just die. Also, Herstal wasted his ultimate, because you've got grab it. So there's no alt communication coming on here either.
Can we get a plan sorted right now?
They don't have a trans. We can
Okay, just you. Yeah. Okay, we'll use Ruby's ult and my ult.
I'll just swing.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, let's go. Push. Don't get stunned. They also grab.
We need to get on this
Oh
point.
my god.
They missed.
It's huge. Run.
Keep me alive,
On
keep me alive,
point.
keep me alive.
Point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hans.
How?
Hanzo,
Get the Hanzo. Nice.
That's literally me and Katie calling the same thing.
It's alright,
Yeah.
I'm almost back. Get bang. Get no dash.
I still need to figure out what I'm doing with Genji. I need to have
Slow.
with Katie. I need to have a long conversation with her about it. Did I say Katie or did I say Genji?
You said Genji and Katie.
He got
Yeah, well, it doesn't
You said
matter.
I'm not sure what to do with Genji.
The Mercy
no,
Man.
they said- Yeah, Katie.
So I need to talk to the Mercy Man.
Yes.
Who gives a fuck, Roby? That's nothing rude. That's nothing rude to you. It's just insignificant.
That
because
was
I
Wow.
nothing meant to
This is
really.
this is probably the
I don't know.
deadest
I
stream
don't
I've had
shit
in my
myself.
entire career. It's quite impressive.
Hello, Kahoot.
It's fine, I don't care.
Can we take Farah?
Oh wait, lag.
Yeah, go for it.
What? Me?
Yeah, you join.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see if you guys were playing or not. And
Yeah,
you
we
were,
were.
so I left.
What do we do?
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
thought you guys had maybe like were still in the lobby talking, and I would have been happy to participate in that. I didn't want to interfere if you were still in game.
I'm trying to
alright.
speak. Never mind.
Let Katie speak. Say it now.
Go far up, please.
I remember
Pushing
hearing
Ryan,
that.
pushing
Yeah.
Ryan.
I think that's also she was not in a good place that day, so I didn't want to be
Can
too
we go
hard on
through
her.
names straight on point?
You
Okay.
can hear in our first
Katie?
game that she's like,
Yep.
"Yeah, guys, let's do this." Like she was not in a good place.
Nice. I'm pushing.
Yeah,
Ryan,
I've been there.
Yeah.
Ryan one. He's dead. Nice. Push the Zarya. I'm staying on point. Get you behind.
You should feel lucky because there were times where I did everything, and like if I was having a bad day,
Get his dead.
it was all over.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to say. You guys seem to be doing all right.
Okay, behind you.
I think Genji is still a huge issue. Genji was a huge issue throughout our whole games.
Literally behind you.
There was a game
Okay.
on Dorado.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can like stand next to a Zen and just like Genji shows up and you just kill him. Like Reinhardt is just as good at killing Genji as
Oh
Winston
yeah, I've
is.
noticed.
It's
I've just been far away.
Winston's just got a jetpack, which
Yeah.
just makes it a little easier to chase him down.
Behind you.
Fox.
Hello.
Or Katie, can we switch Fox to a Kree for the game?
Okay. So, eliminating common factors. So what you have is you've got Mercy, they have Moira. Which gives you guys more damage and more sort of long-term sustain, and means that they have to play in an aggressive, grouped-up composition. This sort of leaves Genji poking out all alone on his own, if not for Zenyatta, I guess. So he's probably fine. Your pharmacy should be capable of taking out their McCree without too much difficulty.
Yeah.
So that's what their objective needs to be, is to kill the McCree first, and then just start bullying the rest of the team. There's no one on the team that can do anything about it, so yeah. Katie's going to have a bit of a rough job, I think, so likely what you want is... Here's the dilemma you've got, is that Mercy can hang out with one of these two. So what I'm going to say is there needs to be a lot of communication about what exactly is happening. If McCree's still alive, Katie sticks with Farah. Unless Genji is closing in on this Widowmaker, in which case Mercy comes back to help out. And then...
Is it
And her
vice
style
versa? Is it vice versa if the McCree is closing in on the Pharah?
Well, McCree doesn't close in on Farah. Farah closes in on McCree. That's the important distinction. Is that Farah can choose to just play at long range and just like ignore him and just survive with a Harmony Orb. So, Joel, dude, and this is sort of quite complicated. This is why there needs to be a lot of communication to this. So Zen needs to know, is Mercy on Farah or not? If Mercy is with Farah, then he can use Harmony as normal, probably sticking it on you. If Mercy is with Widow, or with him, then he needs to know that he needs to Harmony the Farah, which gives her enough sustain to deal with the McCree if she's not playing too aggressive. Farah needs to be aware, do I have Mercy with me or not? And if yes, then go after the McCree. Is Genji alive or not? Can I be, am I able to overextend myself and maybe put Mercy out? And Widowmaker
I'm being called. Can I just get 5 seconds to
Yeah, sure,
say that I'll call them back? Yeah, alright. Alright, I'm back.
Now this sort of interplay is so complicated that you need to explain it before the game starts, and this is why you need to have pre-made compositions and why you don't deviate from them. The problem that you guys are going to have is that I don't think Katie's doing that. I don't know if she has the time or the motivation or the whatever to do that. But really, it has to be her doing it. So that's another thing I'm going to have to talk to Katie about. Anyway, with all of that sort of explained, I think we sort of know how to play this, right? Your Pharah plays aggro, your Widow plays defensive until Genji's dead, and then once they're both dead, it's the same thing. You just press on their core and you kill the shit out of them. A really important thing to remember is that Moira isn't good at helping DPS. She's not like Mercy. Mercy is really good at pocketing DPS. Moira isn't. Moira's good at healing tanks and anyone who stood next to the tanks, and that's about it. Zen's also very likely to either be right next to the tanks, leaving him vulnerable, or right at the back all alone, also leaving him vulnerable. So
The Genji?
it shouldn't be too difficult to jump on him either once the DPS are dealt with.
In that case, we just need to keep our eyes open for the Genji.
Jodo, can you play high ground?
Ryan 1. Oh.
Oh, he's still one, he's still one.
It's a good
I
fire
almost
strike.
shatter, can I use it? Can I use it?
Yeah.
Me, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead, I fucked up.
Okay.
Do you have a...
Common mistake for me. I play a bit aggressive when I want to ult.
Yeah.
Me, I think.
Like, I think I should have gone where Ruby is
Why
right
did you
now,
die?
like drop.
Why did you
Because
die?
I stood still alone in the front. Like, you can see that. I think that's a Mercy
No.
stream from the right.
No, Reinhardt is capable of being the front line all by himself.
Yeah.
He does it
alright.
all the time. The real reason you died is because you failed to titrate damage. What I mean by that is you don't want to drop into the health if you can avoid it.
Can I use it?
So them dealing armor damage to you, that's okay. But you drop your shield to like throw some swings.
Use it?
As soon as that armor hits 0, you need to put your shield up right fucking now.
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
don't,
Dad, I
so they
fucked
just
up.
kill you.
Do you have
So it's actually not that you're alone. Zari was actually backing you up and had a bubble ready and everything, or was about to.
Too late, too
It's the
late.
fact that
Back
you got
up.
bursted down because you dropped your shield and you
Let
had no
Farah fight him
armor.
there. It's a
Sorry,
fucking
one,
feast
sorry,
for you.
one.
Alright.
Zen's dead. Kree's dead. Morris behind, Morris behind, Morris behind.
Genji no deflect 1.
Nice rest. I'm almost back.
Now, I'll be honest with you, if you drop your shield at that moment, even with full health, you probably still would have died. But it's a
Yeah.
rule of thumb that you
Then
could
Ryan
have
ran
followed
low.
and didn't.
Ryan's one, Ryan's one. Ryan's dead.
Genji's one.
Zara's
punch.
dead.
There you go. And that's
Good
it
job.
for now.
Nice. Alright, good.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the ultimates. So, we've talked about how these two go together. You don't have a Hanzo, you've got a Pharah, but that works just fine.
Boosted Pharah should work too, right?
Defensive, and then you just kind of want to use this by itself. It's just a tracer bomb type ultimate,
Do they
basically.
have blade?
Yeah.
No.
No, they use that.
Okay, they have shatter, right? They have grab, right?
I think the main problem that you
They
have
might-
with Katie
yeah,
right
they
now is
should
actually that
be-
she's not
Should have
doing
a
her
shatter.
homework.
Should have a shatter.
Yeah.
She needs to be making
Let's go, let's
plans
go.
for every map and
you
for
ready
every
for
composition
Brazil?
she wants to run on that map, and she just kind of isn't.
Zen has
Which means that when push comes to shove and she needs a plan ready, she doesn't have one.
Yeah.
So she needs to say, hold on, give me a second, let me think, and that shouldn't happen.
Are they coming left side?
They're just peeking at the moment. They don't know what they're poking, peeking. They're gripping.
Come back, Curse though. You need to be
coming
ready
main.
for a grab.
They're pushing in, pushing in. Left side, left side.
Genji's main grabbing.
Ryan. Huge grab. Nice! Woo!
Again.
Yeah, and that's it.
Barely didn't even need to kill them.
Alright, we're done.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
that's where it ends. If
So your
it's-
DPS aren't always following your calls.
I think
And-
from
go on.
experience, I think Fox, when playing, especially Tracer, when we're doing... Because we've played a bit before, right? And especially when we do a Winston Tracer, I've seen Fox follow my calls more. And sometimes even when I think that's a bit of a miscommunication, but sometimes when I call a target, he'll be there before me and almost, like, kill the target before I'm there. But, I mean, in some cases,
You
they're
want him
listening.
to be there before you, but ideally you want him to start shooting right as you land.
Yeah.
You don't want him necessarily to take on a 1v6.
Yeah.
You want all the attention on you, and then he's just the damage. Now, with the D.Va thing, D.Va doesn't always have to follow you. But I don't think D.Va followed you at all when you're a city center. D.Va's always doing her own thing. And it would be occasionally you'd walk in and you'd help out a D.Va. So sometimes D.Va needs to stay behind and protect Zen or whoever else.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be always. Certainly not against a death ball team. So, yeah, your DPS aren't really following your calls, and we need to talk to them and find out why that is. It might just be that they're just badly disciplined.
Might be.
And I don't entirely know what to do about that. I just need to talk to Katie, talk about what we're going to do about that. We've got a surge of viewers at the end, which is nice, but unfortunate. My streams have gotten really short recently. Like, I'm just chewing through VODs a little too quickly, I think. So I'm going to have to start advertising midweek so I can get some more. Anyway.
Do you want to see the Volskaya one?
Is it any different? Is there something about it that's different?
We capped both points with a, like, good time, and then we actually full hold with a strategy that Fox came up with, and I think I don't know, it might be a bit messy at sometimes, but we at least have some calls that are interesting.
You want me to watch the strategy?
Sure.